Okay, welcome to my channel. Once more, I'm Livia Kerubo. We are going to deal on finances. We are done previously on activating finances, and we will still cover on it more on that so that you can understand as much as we are going to look for ways on activating on our finances, whereby I did a previously a video on activating finances. So we are going to go deeper on finances. That's on spending and investment. That's on seed and bread. So how do you, when I say seed, I mean how do you save for the next season? And bread, how do you spend? How do you spread your finances so that you ensure that your finances are well done? Biblically, I said in the book of Joseph, there was during his time he had to save for the next years. There was 7 years of abundance and 7 years of drought. So kindly let me walk you through, because you have already covered on activating finances, and also done a video on Bible verses to claim, how to claim Bible verses, and also on finances. Also I did a different video on how to claim Bible verses on finances, and I've also covered different parts of finances. If you have not seen that, check our videos here on YouTube so that you can understand more. So let me do more of seed and bread. So I'll start on the rules and the technicalities that are involved in money. So let me walk you through. Okay, I'll walk you on basics on finances so that you can know, because I know some of them you just know them, but it's good to give you more knowledge on that, the limelight on that, so that you can know how to do it. First, on how to spend your money, we have 50, 20, 30 rule. Budget rule, where you will spend 50% on the needs, 30% on the wants, and 20% on savings. So you'll have to look at your money, how much money you earn, you save it down. Because as much as we are saying, okay, we need to do on finances, but still you need to concentrate on spending and the savings. So that's where I'm picturing, whereby most of the parents currently, they use a lot of money on spending. They can buy clothes, they can buy food, they can buy everything, but they don't think about the future. They don't do savings. So as depending on your age, depending on where you are, you can't use still on this road. Maybe you are still young. Sorry for that. Maybe you are sorry for that. Maybe you are still young, and maybe at 19, 14, you still there to as per me, you need to save not 20%, but you can save a 30% because of timeline and your dreams. So it depends on how aggressive you are and how you need to do it. So how are you going to save? Let's say you are earning around 10,000 Kenya shillings. You'll take 50% on the needs. The first thing first, before you spend, I'm sorry for that, you need to do fast on tithing. So you tithe 10%, you tithe you tithe 10%. For me, if you're still at your early 20s, you can save between 20 to 30%, but I'll recommend 30% if you have enough money. Then you can use 30% on your wants, and the rest you can use on the needs. So depending on the urgency of your savings, on how much you want to save, and how aggressive you are. You know, as youths, or as at your age, if you are maybe around my age, you'll need to do more savings, because you'll have to need emergency funds, you'll need savings and everything. So if you're saving, you can do major savings, then you can do emergency funds. Let's say you earn around 30,000 in per month, Kenyan shillings. You will need to save three times at least 3 times your monthly amount money or salary as emergency funds. So that's around 90,000 Kenyan shillings. That's for emergency. Then you will come to savings. Where you will come on savings, then that's where you do savings for investment, savings for any projects that you want to do. So there are many technicalities when you come to savings. So I don't want to confuse you. Hope I've not confused you to that level. Let me make it clear. Under savings, you have investments, you have emergency funds, you have a debt payment, you have retirement fee. So you will need to understand on that so that you can not confuse yourself. I said if it's emergency, make sure it's 3 times your salary. Why am I saying that? Because let me say maybe you have a job, or you are running from somewhere. Let's say you are a cook, or you are owning your own business. Maybe something happens on the way, you have gotten an accident. You'll need your family to not feel any bits of challenges when you are maybe sick. You'll need to save at least 3 times that, because that will be amounting around your family's expenses. So it will be for emergencies. Maybe let's say you have been laid out from your job. You'll need to use that emergency fee to assist you in time of need. Hope I'm clear to that point. And also on savings, I said it's just for investment. So that's why we usually recommend that if you are maybe saving, you start with just savings. Just save the money, then later you will decide on investment on the way. Everything will come on your way when you are learning more on finances. So hopefully I've not confused you, but emergency fee will assist you when you have those emergencies, when you are laid out. Then investment will help you in investing. So let's say maybe first you begin with emergency fee, whereby emergency funds, whereby you will save three times the amount that you earn. At least you can do more on that. So you'll start with at least 3 times. After maybe you have done at least 3 times, or if you are capable, and on my honest opinion, save something that can run your expenses up to 1 year or 2 or 3 years. So, but for the beginning, if you are in a tight schedule, you can just start with 3 months, then you move forward. Okay? Then on investments, after we have done savings on emergency fee, then that's when you will go on investment. After you are comfortable on emergency fee, you will go on investment. I'm not saying that you will not still be saving on emergency funds, okay? Fee or funds, okay? Sorry, I'm confusing between funds and fee. I mean emergency fee, not funds. I mean emergency funds, not fee. So let's say you have, after maybe you are running, we said 30,000 Kenya shillings. Now you have saved up to 90,000 Kenya shillings. That's for 3 months. Okay. You have done a savings. That's in that process. I mean that you have not been saving completely for 3 months. Sorry if I have a confusion on that. I mean like let's say I'm earning 30,000 Kenyan shillings, and I want to save the equivalent for 3 months of 3 months salary. That means I'll be saving 30% or at least 30% of the money until it's totaling to 90,000. So if you're earning 30,000 Kenyan shillings, in a month you will save around 9,000. 9,000, that if I want to equivalent it to 90,000, I will have to save about 10 months. It will be 90,000 Kenyan shillings. Hope I'm clear on that. Then we'll go, after now you have around 90,000 Kenyan shillings in your account. That account you should not, for me, you should not access it for some time. Maybe you will not have a mobile banking for it. You will not have an ATM, but you can access, maybe withdraw through the counter at that time. Because if you have it through mobile, if you access it through mobile banking, you will withdraw. But if you have the discipline, you can do still mobile banking, but I recommend not to do that. So after you have saved for those months, you will have to now think about investment. Even if you don't have the idea on investment, you can still save it. So now we have 90,000 in our bank account. We are going to think on investment. Now you can lower down your emergency fee from 30%. That was the savings, 30%. You can now start channeling in 10% of the amount. Then now you will do, depending on the investment, if you have an idea, you can weigh out the percentage and cut down your expenses and your wants, then or increase your incomes to save more on investment. So investment can be, maybe you want to build, you want to buy land, you want to pay maybe school fees, something like that. So if you want to do maybe investments, you can, let's say you are doing 30% to emergency funds. Now you can reduce to 10% and do 20% on investment. But still, if you feel like, okay, this emergency fund is enough for me, you can do 5% and increase the investment to 25%, or reduce your needs from 50 to 30% or 40% or 45%, and then reduce your wants from 30% to 25%, or 15% or 20%. Sorry, 20%, depending on how you have the needs. Then increase on the investment savings. So that's when you do it. Also in savings, we have the retirement fee. So you still need to, after you've done more on investment, you'll still cut down to retirement fee. Most of the time people do retirement fee. You can do on circles, but also there's a cloud funding, whereby you invest in a company. You buy more shares, then you'll get your cards. There are many cloud funding companies that will assist on that. If you still need something to learn more on that, I'm covering on that. And also, you will, if you have a debt, you can picture in on that. So you are the one to arrange yourself. So let me give you an example on the needs, wants, and savings, so that you can understand. I said 50%. If the rule is 50, 30, 20 budget rule. So the needs are 50%. That's food, housing, insurance, basic utilities, transportation. Then once you have travel, fashion, and entertainment, then 20% savings is emergency fund, debts, payment, investment, and retirement. So you are the one to organize yourself and do that. So let me continue on cloud funding. Cloud funding is whereby you will get a company. Maybe I know of one of the companies whereby you will save your money. Sorry, you will invest your money. Let me say I have a catering company whereby I need funding to expand my business, or maybe I have an idea of a business but I don't have the funds, or I have a certain percentage of the funds. So I will approach the cloud funding companies to assist me get that money. So let's say I need 5 million Kenyan shillings. I will approach the company and tell them I need 5 million, and this is my share. The company will come and look at my finances and assess them. After they have assessed my finances, they will decide on where the level of my business, if it's on the beginning level, the growth level, or it's an advanced level, and they will advise the investors. So at some point they have accessibility to the investors. You will invest a certain percentage of your money to that company. So you will see they will give a minimum. You can I saw whereby maybe you have emergency funds. Okay, if you are good and in risk taking, you can check partially the amount of emergency funds and save on them, because it's a good deal, by the way. At some point you will get 18% interest I have a, okay, I saw a certain company whereby you get 72% returns per annum, but the interest is 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. So you will take the first 3 months, you get 18% interest of your money back, your money plus the interest of 18%. Then if you want, you can reinvest back and reinvest back, but at the end of the year you have gained. So they do it, okay, not 3 times, they do quarterly, if I'm not wrong, quarterly, yeah, quarterly, that's 3 times. So you'll get around, I think it's 72%. Somehow there's a way that they calculate, but you get, if you invest around 100,000 Kenyan shillings, you get 72,000 Kenyan shillings. But that is for risk takers. So if you are in business, you understand the risks. Sometimes you cannot get the profits 100%, but if you are good at risk taking, you can take partially your amount because it's sitting in the bank and invest back. But that's for not for everyone. If you are comfortable with that, you can look in your country or wherever you are and check on the investment on that. That's crowdfunding. You can check on the companies and check their, if they are legal. If they are good, then you invest on those companies. That's how it works. So that's how it works, and it's popular in Europe and in the US, but it's coming in Africa, especially now it's coming in Kenya for beginners. So you can try your luck. Thank you. So another way is 1% rule of impulse buying. If an item is over 1% of your annual gross income, wait for 3 days. If you still wait for the item, if you still want the item after 3 days, you'll go and get it. So you'll look on that rule. That's another rule for financing your whatever that you need. If you feel like, okay, this item I need it, you can, if it's above 1% of your annual gross income, so you'll work on it and see if it's good on you. Then you'll work on it. You'll take it or not. If you realize it's not a need or a want, if it's a want, you can do for it. If it's a need or a want, then you can decide if you will still take the item. Another rule, which is rule number 3, is the rule of 72. The rule of 72. When you get excited about the savings, use the rule of 72 to quickly calculate how many years it will take you to double your income of money. You will use the rule of 72 to know how far it will take to double your money. Let's say that you have a, let me give an example. There is a return of 8% per annum. Maybe you are investing somewhere, or you are doing savings in a bank, and or in a circle, it's giving you a return of 8% per annum. It will take you 72 years. It will take you 9 years to double your income. So you take 72, divide by the rate. So it's 72. You divide by 8. You'll get 9 years to double. So if you have an interest rate of 18%, so you take 72 divided by 18, you get the number of years that your income will take to double. So you will be able to assess your finances and know, okay, at this time maybe I'm having 10,000 Kenyan shillings, but how long will it take for me to double this amount? How many years will it take? How many months will it take for me to double this amount? So that's another rule. Rule number 4 is 3x emergency fund rule. Keep 3 times to 6 times your monthly income in emergency funds. That's what I said actually previously when I was covering in the first rule. So let's go to rule number 4. This is the rule of automation. I don't know if these are applicable in Kenya, but defaulters are powerful because people are lazy to make savings on your default. People